Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Use NyraBets to bet on live horse racing from around the world. Bet from anywhere, anytime using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Play in our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus today. NyraBets, racing's best play. Sign up now and get a $150 bonus. Go to NyraBets.com.
Happy Preakness weekend, everybody. And here on our third floor clubhouse studios, Maggie Wolfendale alongside Richard Migliori. We're going to be talking Preakness and the contenders in this running. 10 will go to the gate, but if you want to play the Preakness, the only way to do it is through your NyraBets account. And if you are a first-time member, sign up. You get the $150 bonus using promo code STAKES. Well, Richie, we will see Always Dreaming try to go for the Triple Crown. And really, at 4 to 5, he looks pretty solid.
I think he looks really solid. He's a horse that creates his own trip. He has speed, and yet he's tractable. Johnny Velasquez can let him run away from the gate, and then if somebody else wants to take the initiative, he can sit. I think it just helps a jockey so much when you have a horse that really bails you out.
Yeah, and we'll check out the 143rd running of the Kentucky Derby, where Johnny just, as you said, made all the other horses work for it and found Always Dreaming in the perfect spot for him. But also, let's check out that start with Classic Empire.
Yeah, you're focusing towards the outside, especially from that auxiliary gate. You know, the horses came over like a wave. It was like a tidal wave hitting the inside horses. Horses tend to run to empty space, and I think that was part of the thing. And plus, the jockey's enthusiasm to get over to save as much ground. So it's kind of a crush. It definitely affected Classic Empire. He got banged around, but he never did have to check. So I don't want to understate the problem he had, but I don't think we should overstate it either.
Well, kind of, to play a little bit devil's advocate with you, I heard Mark Cassie say that, it's a little bit different than the first jump out of the gate where you get knocked. Horses had already gotten into stride when he got hit, so there's a little bit more momentum behind him, but we will see him, as we come for home, too, he'll get bounced around again here. Now, we see Always Dreaming sitting behind this front runner here, State of Honor, and really Johnny just has him in that sweet spot.
Well, he let him run all the way to the first turn. He was basically head and head for the lead, created separation from the field, then allowed the other horse, the leader, to go on, State of Honor. Eased out in the clear. That was the winning move right there. And this horse has such a high cruising speed. Right. He's going quickly, but he's doing it the right way.
Exactly. And in concerns with the Preakness here, we will see a speed from the outside in Conquest Mo Money. Does Johnny make him work from the outside to get over in front of him?
I think Johnny does. Johnny's a rider that's very tactical. He wants position. He's going to make them go forward into the turn and make that horse commit. Don't allow him to ease over and kind of back it down in your face. And again, he's got the right horse, the right dance partner, so to speak, to do that. This is what impresses me here, Maggie. Watch when he sets him down. He kind of drops down. He's one of those horses that almost has that Uncle Mo type stride. I know he's by Bodemeister, but when he really sets him down, he kind of reaches out and down and really covers a lot of ground.
He does. That nice little kind of sports car acceleration that we see from him. We also see, looking at Lee, running into second here. What a beautiful ride by Corey Lannery. I mean, he made use of his post on the rail, almost Calvin Borel-esque.
Very much so. And it's interesting to me that guys that have had such success at Churchill Downs seem to work out those kind of trips. They know the little nuances to get to the fence, stay there. Obviously, he broke from the fence, but you hope that Corey Lannery gets another opportunity with just a little bit more horsepower under him, because a ride like that deserved to win the race.
Now, do you think horses like Looking at Lee, the deep closers, are they at a disadvantage at the Preakness and given the contenders that we see this year?
To me, I think he is at a disadvantage. I don't see quite as much speed as there was in the Kentucky Derby. And we've seen the fact that Always Dreaming can be up and part of that pace, and he still has finish. And I just don't see him getting softened up enough to set it up for the likes of Looking at Lee. Make no mistake, he's a nice horse, and he was a horse that caught my attention over the winter in the Arkansas Derby. When he was rallying that day, and we're going to look at that a little later on, he was kind of like a broken field runner, looking for a space. There wasn't a lot of continuity with his run. He got that continuity in the Derby.
And speaking of, horses that are kind of fresh faces in here, we'll check out Cloud Computing. Now, he only has 3 races, but we'll look at his last race, which was a 3rd-place finish, albeit a distant one, behind Irish Warcry in the Grade 2 Wood Memorial. And, Richie, we do see a change of pilot to Javier Castellano this time around.
Yeah, Irad Ortiz here. the importance of getting Derby points. He's third on the outside here. You could see he's already been getting at him. He pulls his stick through the left hand. He already's hitting him once or twice before they even turn for home, actually 3 or 4 times. And this is why I don't like him going to the Preakness. Now, I think this is a phenomenally talented colt. He broke his maiden going 6, jumped right into the 2-turn Gotham, ran big, was second to J-Boy's Echo. Comes back in the Wood Memorial, and you could see here how hard-ridden he is. Ira Ortiz really gets into him hard, and I just think this is debilitating for a young horse making his 3rd start. Now, every time he's run, he's been thrown into the deeper end of the pool.
Yeah.
Right? From a maiden race to a grade 3 to a grade 2, now a grade 1. Now, everybody knew Mike Tyson was going to be champion of the world when he was 16 years old, but there was some progression there. Right. He fought guys that he could handle and built himself up physically as well as mentally. I just think this colt, and I'm a fan, I think he's a terrifically talented horse, has been asked to do too much too soon, and I don't like the progression.
All right. Well, he does have a decent running style given the context of the race where he can lay right behind those front runners. We'll see if he can capitalize on it. But Richie, a horse that is coming in off of a win in the Illinois Derby is the rail runner in here, Multiplier. And he will go out for a up-and-coming trainer in Brendan Walsh here. And what I like about Multiplier is that he's another one that doesn't have that much seasoning, but he's faced some adversity, especially in this race where he had to run up behind horses on the rail. He swung out, and once he got clear, he was able to run down the leader here. And while he's a long shot, don't get me wrong, maybe he's a horse that is hitting his best stride as he comes into this Preakness.
Well, you know, it's interesting to me, and he went and got the leader here. I mean, that horse did not lay down. He went and got him, and I like when you see a horse put his head down and go and reel in a horse like that. I think you probably have a better handle on this than even I do, years at Pimlico. When a horse shows that handiness, that's got to bode well for him at Pimlico.
Oh, totally. I mean, the turns are tight at Churchill too. Don't get me wrong there. It's a tighter. Both of those racetracks are tighter, and then you come here, and all of a sudden you have acres of a turn to get around here at Belmont Park. But I think, despite him being a really big horse, he is actually very handy and has faced some adversity in all of his races. And I think he can overcome such things. He was actually privately purchased by Gary Barber and Wachtell Stable for this Preakness. Now, Richie, we've seen some of the contenders down at Pimlico in their preparations for this Preakness. First, let's check in with Always Dreaming. What have you thought from him? It seems as though he is full of energy. Yeah,
it seems like he bounced out of the Derby in good shape. He doesn't seem to show any ill effects. If anything, he didn't lighten up much, which you would expect him to, a hard race. I like the way that he's adapted to training in the draw reins. I thought he fought it the first day or two at Churchill Downs. Nick Bush has done a great job. You know, he'll get a little strong going off and look to pick his head up. And with draw reins, he does a great job getting him to put his head back down the saddle.
Have you ridden in draw reins? How hard is it?
Oh, it's very difficult, you know, and particularly if you have a horse that fights it, because if they do get their head up, which is more difficult for them, you have no control whatsoever. You know, so you can't panic. You can't be reaching up and trying to muscle the horse. He's done a great job, and I think the horse has settled in really well. Now, we saw a couple of departures in Always Dreaming's training leading up to the Derby from Todd Pletcher. Todd Pletcher's not a guy who works his horses fast. He had Johnny work him in 59 and change and told Johnny, let him blow off some steam. Todd usually either goes back to Belmont or stays at Churchill with a horse that he points for the Preakness. Not that he's had that many.
Right.
Immediately, he's shipped to Pimlico, got this horse settled in. I like that a lot, too. I like the fact that he's going to be comfortable with his surroundings. He's going to be more settled. I don't see Always Dreaming getting beat. Now, maybe I'm not showing a lot of imagination because he is the Derby winner, but he was a dominant Derby winner in my estimation, and I think he's going to go to Pimlico, deliver another big performance, and then it's on for a big party here at Belmont Park.
Yeah, not only has Always Dreaming adapted to Pimlico, sounds like Todd Pletcher has too, as he's going for a record of eating crab cakes for, hopefully he's had it today, for breakfast for 7 consecutive days leading into the Preakness. But real quick, let's check in with Gunnevera, another horse that comes out of the Derby. Bit of a, I guess you could say, disappointing effort if you want to forgive him for that slop. Have you watched him over the Pimlico Strip, and what have you thought of his training there?
You know, it's interesting. He trains a little bit different. His trainer, Alberto Sano, am I saying that correct? Yeah. He trains more that South American style. They put a lot of miles. They put a lot of air, a lot of foundation in their horses. The one thing I've noticed, and this is obviously on film, I'm not down there, he looks like he's not as light as he was going into the Derby. You know? I
agree. He's put some, muscle mass back on. He's a very relaxed horse. I think that comes with the miles of training that we see. But maybe he's a horse. He's kind of been campaigned in that old school type of way where he doesn't quite miss a dance. So maybe that'll pay off in the long run.
Well, I like the fact that he looks physically like he's doing better.
Yeah.
Like he's rebounded, and he's had a lot of racing, and I don't knock that. I think, sometimes trainers go too much the other way. They don't have enough racing.
Right.
That being said, I thought if he was going to get it done, and maybe it was a sloppy track, it was the Derby. I just thought the 1.25 miles, an abundance of pace that, maybe he would have finished a bit better. But I do think he can run a better race. I like your idea, and you clued me into multiplier. Mm-hmm. And we see this a lot. We'll see a Derby winner come back and deliver an even bigger performance in the Preakness, and some long shot clunks up for second. I think multiplier is going to be my long shot for hitting the board anyway.
All right. Well, that makes two of us here big fans of multiplier, as he will be a decent price. And that'll do it for Richie and I. Hope everybody enjoys the Preakness Stakes this Saturday. It will be a good one. And don't forget, use your Naira Bets account. And if you get that trifecta in the Preakness, you get a 10% winner's bonus. And check out those details at nairabets.com. Best of luck, everybody.